much-needed relief. Tonight, the Davis administration gearing up for its fifth national budget. Officials say this one will bring much-needed relief. The Office of the Prime Minister says the focus expected to be on easing the cost of living and boosting the economy. But first,
I'm Delvado Emmanuel, and coming up tonight in our news, family of the country's latest homicide victim speaks out.
And a vacation turned tragic on Paradise Island. Police say an American visitor died after falling from a hotel balcony late last night. We'll tell you what investigators believe happened inside that room. Then in our news at 7:30, not everyone is convinced as the Davis administration moves closer to finalizing the sale of Grand Lucayan Resort. The former tourism minister says he's in wait-and-see mode, raising questions about the company that'll take over. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. The sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort may be finally near, but not everyone's convinced. The former tourism minister, Dionisio de Aguilar, says he's in wait-and-see mode, while F&M Deputy Leader Shannon Don Cartwright is slamming government over delays and broken promises. We've got their reactions in just a bit, but first, a family is mourning the loss of a 24-year-old man shot and killed in Bain and Grantstown just before midnight Saturday. What was meant to be a weekend of celebration ahead of Mother's Day turned into heartbreak. Delvado Emmanuel visited the family's home and spoke with his grieving sister.
I can't remember one time we even had an argument. I would always be hard on him because I wanted the best for him. And don't care how much times I would argue with him, he'd just be like, yeah, Drico.
Young, full of life, and always smiling is how loved ones described Jamal J.J. Maycock. But late Saturday night, gunfire cut his life short at the corner of Hay and Comfort Streets. Police say the 24-year-old was at a park when two men pulled up on a motorcycle and began shooting. Maycock tried to run, but collapsed nearby. His sister Rodrika Johnson says they were home, which was right down the street, when they got the call.
Like, I feel by his mouth, nothing came out of his mouth, and I placed my hand on his head. I covered his head and I leaned over in his ass and I said a prayer, and I put my hand back by his nose, and that's when I feel this air rush from his nose. So I said that probably was his last breath.
JJ's death came just hours before Mother's Day, a time when families gather in love. But now his mother is too broken to speak. Johnson says her mom and JJ shared a deep bond.
Everything was JJ to her. They're very close. When you see him, you see her. Like me and him, we both have had a good relationship with her. I mean, like a very close relationship. She would give us the world if she could.
Now, as you can see, family members now draping the home JJ spent 24 years of living. They said the night before he killed on Mother's Day, they were planning a family event. Unfortunately, that never happened.
It's unbelievable. It's hurtful. We really didn't expect this.
They now have this message for those responsible for their loved one's death.
But I just want them to know that they left us with a broken heart, but we leave everything in God's hand.
Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks so much for that, Delvado. Meanwhile, the Davis administration gearing up for its fifth budget debate, and it's just weeks away. The Prime Minister set to present the 2025-2026 budget at the end of the month, laying out how government plans to tackle the economy and ease the cost of living for residents. Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrey Ramming, says this year's budget all about bringing relief to everyday Bahamians.
One, we could anticipate that there will be a sale of the Grand Lucayan Hotel. Secondly, you have some very positive economic news. As you could see, 3% GDP growth. You also have some pretty good numbers around how the economy is performing overall, good credit rating. So the Prime Minister is going into the budget with a lot of positive economic news. You can anticipate the Prime Minister will focus on ways to bring broader relief to the Bahamian people.
And Ramming says the upcoming budget communication will show an economy that's been turned around. He also says Bahamians can expect to see government deliver on more promises made in its blueprint for change.
You can anticipate that the government will begin to focus on some of the remaining items, especially around food security, the government's Golden Yield program. You can anticipate that the government is going to make progress around the number of airports, particularly in Grand Bahama, Cat Island and the remaining family islands. You could also anticipate that there will be tremendous progress around some of the key deliverables in the healthcare sector.
An opposition deputy leader, Shannon Don Cartwright, calling out the Davis administration, accusing members of dragging their feet on the long-promised sale of Grand Lucayan Resort. This comes after government announced plans to finally finalize a deal with U.S.-based developer Concord Wilshire. Cartwright says it's been years of delays and broken promises, pointing out it's been nearly 7 years since the Minnis administration bought the property.
Well, first and foremost, the people of Grand Bahama have been suffering for a long time. We've continued to press the government on these false promises and the moving of the goalposts as it relates to dates for the finalizing of a deal. We are hopeful.
In 2020, the Minnis administration announced a deal with Holistica, a Royal Caribbean and ITM joint venture, which later collapsed. And now with a new buyer, Cartwright says the people of Grand Bahama, they are still watching very closely.
We are hopeful that the people of Grand Bahama finally get what is due to them, and the island of Grand Bahama, the airport, but yes, particularly this particular Grand Lucayan deal that we've been waiting on for such a long time. So we await to see, just like Grand Bahamians, we await to see the details, and then we will offer some further comments.
And now to a Marine who is facing criminal charges after a teen alleged she was raped by 2 men last month. Marine Seaman Devin Cooper is the second person charged in relation to the April 13th sexual assault of the 15-year-old girl. Cooper's co-accused, Dijon Beau, was charged last week. Cooper didn't have to plead when he stood before Senior Magistrate Algernon Allen Jr. His bail set at $8,000 and he'll have to wear an ankle bracelet. Both men are expected back in court on August 6th to be indicted. And police are investigating a tragic incident at a Paradise Hotel last night. Police say it was around 10 p.m. when an American visitor reportedly fell from an upper-level balcony while in his room with others. He was reportedly found unresponsive on a lower floor. Police say emergency crews were called, but sadly he died on the way to the hospital. Investigators still working to determine exactly what happened. And it's International Nurses Day. And to mark the milestone, the World Health Organization and International Council of Nurses released its State of the World's Nursing 2025 report. The new report gives a comprehensive and up-to-date analysis of the nursing workforce, and here's what it revealed. The global nursing workforce has grown from 27.9 million in 2018 to 29.8 million in 2023. But here's the bad news. Researchers say they found that there are wide disparities in the availability of nurses, leaving many countries without access to essential health services. The 2025 report goes on to say low and middle income countries are facing challenges graduating, employing, and retaining nurses in the health system. The Bahamas, no stranger to nursing shortages, as many seek better opportunities in the United States and Canada. Last August, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville told reporters the public health system was short about 450 nurses, including over 170 specialists. All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, just before I came in the studio, I checked the humidity. 80 degrees.
It's up there.
And it's 81 degrees outside right now. Is it what, soupy conditions is what you were saying earlier?
Yeah. Very, very humid. We have a very unsettled weather pattern moving across the area.
I'm not a fan of these soupy conditions. that heat feels very different.
You're going to get the humidity right now, and once the system gets out here, you're going to return to some very warm temperatures. Maybe that cold front could make a little jaunt. No cold air mass expected with this. Yeah.
Oh boy. We'll wait.
Yeah, 80 degrees, near the 80-degree mark outside. Mostly cloudy skies, east-southeast winds at 15 miles per hour, and your feels-like temperature is a very warm and humid 82 degrees on the outside. Current temperatures right now across the northwest Bahamas. Cloudy conditions over there, 80 degrees in Freeport, 79 in Allenstown, Bimini, Nichols, San Andros, and over in Governor's Harbour, as well as in Marsh Harbour, Abaco. Great Harbour Key, 78 here in the capital. We are 81 with some showers nearby. 81 in Kemps Bay, Georgetown, Deadman's Key. Then we pick up a string of 80s. Black Point, Exumas, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coburn Townsend, Salvador, and Port Nelson, Rum Key. Southeast Bahamas, much warmer down there as well, with lots more sun. Right now, 81 degrees in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Abrams Bay, Providenciales, Tricks, and Caicos Islands, Electable Bay. You guys are 80 degrees. degrees. Matthewtown, Inagua, the warm spot at 82. This is the setup. We have a frontal boundary still moving into West Florida, but a lot of our moisture out ahead of that frontal boundary moving across the area. So we saw some showers and thunderstorms. Also had some severe thunderstorm warnings issued for portions of the northwest Bahamas. But this soupiness, as we call it, lots of moisture staying with us as that front continues to slowly progress towards the east. That's all attached to an upper level low and a low pressure system moving across the eastern portions of the United States. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, the NCAA outdoor season nears its conclusion with conference championships over the course of the next few weeks, and Bahamians are already having a major impact on their programs. We'll fill you in on the details.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Royalty graces the next episode of the Charlie Bahama Show with Lady E.
I'm so happy to be here with you. This is you're one of my heroes. You're one of the people who I always watch on TV. I still remember the theme music from Electric Air. So, just being
All my money. You got all my money. All my money. I love her already. Catch the next episode of the Charlie Bahama Show this Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. NCAA Outdoor Conference Championships are underway, and a pair of Bahamians delivered record-setting performances in the Sun Belt. Divine Parker and Shatalia Dorset helped to rewrite the Eagles' record books at the Sun Belt Championships in Harrisonburg, Virginia. In her first conference championship in 2 years, Parker took first place in the 200 meters and claimed the conference title in a new personal best, 23.07 seconds. Dorset also reached a medal podium in the race and finished third in another new personal best, 23.24 seconds. In the 100, Parker finished fourth, personal best time of 11.33 seconds, while Dorset was seventh in 11.41 seconds. Team Bahamas will soon begin its path in the qualification process for the 2027 FIBA World Cup. Of course, Los Angeles 2028 is in sight, but before the senior men's national team reaches that milestone, first comes the road to Qatar. The FIBA World Cup 2027 qualifiers draw will take place in Doha on May 13th in preparation for the first ever World Cup to be held in the Middle East and North Africa region. The Bahamas hopes to be one of 32 teams in Qatar to pursue the Naismith Trophy. Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors face a pivotal game 4 tonight, and if they are to even the series, Hield knows the only true way to replace two-time MVP Stephen Curry is by committee. Curry suffered a hamstring strain in Game 1, but Hield stepped up to lead the Warriors to the win. Since then, the T-Wolves have won back-to-back games, and Curry's timetable set to return is no earlier than Game 6. Hield scored 14 points and made 4 threes in a 102-97 loss in Game 3. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the sex trafficking and racketeering trial of music icon Sean Diddy Combs underway in New York. Plus, a major pause in the U.S.-China trade war, both countries rolling back tariffs and committing to 90 days of talks. And Weight Watchers files for bankruptcy. We'll tell you the weight loss shift that's led the iconic brand to restructure when our news returns.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? They know being no more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee show in the lot.
Phosphorescent. Hey, it's the Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy Charlie Bahama.
New season of Groovin' is here.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the...
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The trial of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs underway in New York with the first witness on the stand on Monday. Combs is facing serious charges: sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting individuals for prostitution. Prosecutors say he used violence and blackmail to control his partners, including ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. But the defense argues Combs lived a consensual swingers lifestyle and denies all charges. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. U.S. President Donald Trump demanding lower drug prices, signing an executive order giving pharmaceutical companies 30 days to slash costs or face limits on what the government will pay. Trump says the U.S. should pay what other countries pay for prescriptions, calling current prices unfair. The move targets Medicare and Medicaid spending, but experts warn most Americans won't see savings right away, and drug makers say it could hurt innovation. Meanwhile, the U.S. and China have agreed to roll back most of their tariffs and hit pause on their trade war for now. Both sides slashing tariffs by over 100 percentage points and committing to 90 days of talks. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer says it's a big step to avoid what he called an economic embargo. Markets reacted fast as stocks and oil prices jumped and the U.S. dollar strengthened, but experts are warning this is just a truce and not a full resolution. The Food and Drug Administration says check your medicine cabinet as two popular over-the-counter eye products have been voluntarily recalled. AvCare is pulling its artificial tears solution and gel after an FDA audit found possible manufacturing issues. Nearly 15,000 cases are affected. The exact health risks aren't clear, but the FDA says the quality cannot be guaranteed. And Weight Watchers has filed for bankruptcy. The 62-year-old company, now called WW International, says Chapter 11 will help ease $1.5 billion in debt and let it refocus in a world dominated by weight loss drugs like Ozempic. Membership is down and debt is said to be up, and even Oprah has walked away, stepping down from the board and donating her shares. WW says service to members won't be interrupted, and that it expects to emerge from bankruptcy in about 40 days. And billionaire Bill Gates says he's giving away almost his entire fortune, pledging $200 billion to the world's poorest through the Gates Foundation over the next 2 decades. The Microsoft co-founder says he plans to shut down the foundation by the end of 2045. Marking the charity's 25th anniversary last week, Gates said there are too many urgent problems to solve for him to hold on to resources that could be used to help other people. The move comes as global aid funding declines. Gates warned that progress on issues like child mortality, polio, and poverty won't happen without strong government support, especially from the United States. Still to come on our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was May 12th. Then in our news at 7:30, a political giant is remembered. The FNM pays tribute to former Senate President and attorney J. Henry Bostwick today. The 86-year-old hailed as a brilliant legal mind and key figure in Bahamian politics for more than 50 years. But first, another heartbreaking fire in Abaco, this time in Murphytown. Flames destroyed half a duplex and left 2 families without a home. How volunteer firefighters managed to stop the spread when our news returns.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference.
On this day in Bahamian history, in 1942, the Bahamas executed two men. Edward Mackey and Belton Fernando were hanged at His Majesty's Prison, which is now known as the Bahamas Department of Corrections. The men, who went by their aliases Bulla and Boo, were found guilty by a jury for the brutal hatchet murder of a Grantstown shopkeeper, Clarence Walters. The pair was hanged in the early hours of Tuesday, May 12, 1942. In 2011, the Democratic National Alliance was founded by Granville McCartney. The party was founded by McCartney after his resignation from the Free National Movement 2 months earlier on March 21st. The party was founded to be an alternative to the two major parties in the Bahamas, the Progressive Liberal Party and the Free National Movement. The party's best results were in the 2012 general election, when it secured over 13,000 votes, but did not win any seats in the House of Assembly. And finally, in 2016, Justice Indra Charles issues an order to maintain the status quo with respect to an injunction to prohibit members of Parliament from appropriating or releasing emails belonging to Save the Bay's members until a hearing. Charles granted an injunction after Marathon MP Jerome Fitzgerald read the emails of Save the Bay's members in the House of Assembly. Charles would later find Fitzgerald breached Save the Bay's members' right to privacy when he read their emails in Parliament in March. The judge prohibited the MP from releasing or publishing such information without the group's consent and fined him $150,000. The Attorney General's office appealed.
All right, get ready for more laughs and misspelled words as Bahamian creator and producer Das Quay is back with season 2 of Bahamian, airing Wednesdays right here on RTV channel 212. The game is simple, but it's hilarious because contestants, they get to go head-to-head spelling words for a shot at $500, but 5 strikes and you are out. Das Quay gave our news a peek at some of his favorite moments from season 1. And let's just say it's spelling, or should we say misspelling? Take a look.
Season 1 was so good. Two highlights from season 1 was, I got to shout out my boy Mullers International. He won $5. You know, you could win up to $500. He won $5. So shout out, that means he can spell. What school he been? Anyway, another highlight was this lady that came on my show. Didn't know that she could spell so good, and she win all my money. The crazy thing is, the cap's supposed to be $500 you could win. She win more than $500. How? She take all my money. So we had to literally go wash some car and clean some window to go raise money for season 2. Shout out to Rubis.
Good spelling, that's what that means. But as for changes to the show, Quay shared this.
Throwing the kids in the show was just to, again, get more interest from the young people into the Spelling Bee show, because what I love about it is you laugh, but you also learn. And we also listen to the people, so we made some changes for season 2 in terms of when the persons are spelling the word, we put it on the screen so that persons can see the correct spelling of it. But kids, between the adults and the children, I think I'm going to do a season with just children, because children is saying some of the silliest things. They jokey. I like clowning on people, children.
All right, and you can test your own spelling skills and tune in to RTV on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. to catch the show. And then there's the Charlie Bahama Show, usually known for fun chats with international celebs visiting the Bahamas, but this season, it's all about our stars. Now in its 12th season, the show is also shining a spotlight on Bahamian celebrities and is airing Fridays at 8 p.m., also right here on RTV. Host Charles Smith tells our news you can also expect a lineup full of familiar local faces.
I've had everybody on, even from Electric Air days. We had all kind of people on, from Beyonce, etc. And this one too, we have on the Charlie Bahama Show, we have all kind of people, from Morgan Freeman, Shaggy on there, and we saw Shaggy. It was Shaggy, but this season I have a lot of Bahamians. I have Judah the Lion on. I have Lady E. Oh, Lady E is fantastic. We've been to the Out Islands. I was in Exuma and Lutra, and then my boy here, Tyrone, in the house.
All right, and you may know Tyrone Burrows as the creative mind behind Collage Dem. That's the group that gave us viral hits like Tags on Everything and Stop Liking Man. Smith sat down with Burrows for a candid chat about his work, his impact, and what's next.
They were so funny, but they came along
prophetic
during social media time, and they just blew up. So I always want to promote talented Bahamians. And not only, Tyrone, there's a whole group of them, like the Dasquays, the Soya Boys, all of them come out of Collage Dem. So this is really important. And I'm happy, RTV and Cable Bahamas promotes Bahamians.
All right, you can catch Charlie and his guests on Fridays, as we said, at 8 p.m. right here on RTV. If you want to watch that story again, and for all of today's top stories, remember you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Megan Shepard. She's up now with the latest headlines. Megan?
Look, indeed, I am still waiting for Das Quake to come to our studios for editors, for the tech team. I want to be a part of it.
Let me tell you, I'm looking forward to it, but also looking forward to Bahamian. I don't know if you've caught the show, but it is
He promised that he would come here and host a season with us.
He said, we got a domino tournament going on right now. Megan, I think your team is losing really bad.
We're second out of 2.
27, what's it, 25 to 47?
Okay, you're in the winning team. No. Goodbye. Thank you for being here at 7. Well, coming up tonight at 7:30, a political giant is remembered. Plus, SBDC's Men in Business program awards $114,000 in grants. Here are your latest headlines.
Coming up tonight on Our News, could the third time be the charm? The former tourism minister says he's skeptical about the company chosen to acquire the Grand Lucayan Resort. This as government prepares to finalize an agreement for the property's sale. Plus, fires continuing to displace families across the country. The latest fire over in Abaco destroying a duplex and leaving 2 families without a home. Then, former Senate President and prominent attorney J. Henry Bostwick remembered and honored during a memorial service held at the Free National Movement's headquarters. And later, 13 men from various family islands awarded grant funding totaling some $114,000. It's all a part of an SBDC initiative. We'll tell you about these stories and so much more when Our News returns.
Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, INTI redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayan solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama.
Welcome to our news and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Megan Shepard. Well, as the Davis administration prepares to finalize an agreement for the much anticipated sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort, former tourism minister Dionisio Diagler says he's in wait-and-see mode. This as he shares his skepticism over the company chosen to acquire the property. Berthany McDermott has his candid comments in this report.
It's a wait and see. Let's see the specific details. Let's see the amount of investment. Let's see how long the project is going to take to get to a point where it's impacting the lives of the people in Grand Bahama.
Nearly 7 years after the Minnis-led government bought the Grand Lucayan Resort for $64 million, the Davis administration plans to sign a heads of agreement with Concord Wilshire, a United States-based real estate and resort development company. According to its website, CW has been developing, constructing, and investing in distinguished real estate assets in major or emerging markets throughout the United States since 1992, and has won awards in the sector. With this possibly being its first project outside of the U.S., Diagler is skeptical but hopeful.
I don't like the fact that it's a large American company. We generally don't seem to do well by them, but, we'll wait and see. And also, this would probably be their first project in the Caribbean, which is always a little bit different from doing business in North America or in the United States.
In 2020, the Minnis administration announced that Holistica, a joint company of Royal Caribbean and the ITM Group, would develop the property and construct a new cruise port. However, after winning the 2021 general election, the Davis administration canceled the agreement. The Davis government then announced a deal with Electra American Hospitality Limited for $100 million, with plans for a $300 million redevelopment into a sustainable luxury resort. But the deal collapsed a year later. With this track record, Diagler says Bahamians may be a bit suspicious.
So this is the third proposal that's being presented to the Bahamian people. So the Bahamian people, you'll have to forgive us, are probably a little skeptical, given what has transpired.
And while the resort sale is big news, the former tourism minister says another big question will be what happens with the airport.
So maybe when the government rolls out, the details of this investment in the Grand Lucayan, they will inform the Bahamian people on what their plan is with the airport. You can always tell the flam, whether it's, we can do this and we can do that and we can do this, but there's no substance behind it. So we'll as I say, we'll wait and see.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks so much, Berthany. Well, prosecutors dropped a murder case against a man after he declined to take a plea deal. Ricardo Stubbs, who was charged with the January 23, 2020 murder of Jaquil M. Brister, rejected the proposed plea deal last October. Prosecutors brought the matter to an end last week by presenting a noli prosequi. They had alleged that Stubbs was one of two gunmen who burst into M. Brister's home and shot him dead. Another devastating fire hitting the Abaco community on Sunday, this time destroying a unit in a Murphytown duplex, leaving two families homeless. Marsh Harbor Volunteer Fire Services dispatcher Roscoe Thompson telling Our News the fire wall between the two rental units saved one side of the duplex. Police are still investigating the cause of the fire. Fortunately, volunteer firefighters were able to prevent the fire from spreading, but they did face an issue.
Not 100 feet from their home was a fire hydrant that was inoperable, that did not work.
Wow. So
and that could have, if that fire got out of control or we didn't get there when we did, and say it did spread to another building, it would have, that fire hydrant could have come in very handy. But we were able to get our tanker down there in enough time to keep our trucks filled up with water.
The recent blaze comes on the heels of wildfires that raged through miles of Abaco forest. While no homes were impacted, the community was covered with smoke for days. The blaze came close to multiple homes and had fire services officers up throughout the night fighting fires. At the time, volunteer fire services officers pleaded with the government for more resources for the island. Residents took matters into their own hands by raising funds to purchase their own equipment. Thompson stressing the need for necessities like fire hydrants and more equipment.
They're a lifeline. That's our water supply, and that gives you the opportunity either to save a house or a building or lose a building. And these things need to be operational. It's not just in Murphytown, but it's also in Marsh Harbor, Spring City. It's also in Dundastown. On the front strip of Dundastown doesn't have any fire hydrants. So that makes it very difficult for us.
Well, the Free National Movement is promising a major investment to beef up firefighting if they become the next governing party. F&M Deputy Leader Shannon Dawn Cartwright telling reporters a future F&M administration would allocate at least $10 million to purchase 25 new fire trucks and a firefighting plane. The pledge builds on plans already outlined by F&M leader Michael Pintard, who recently revealed intentions to create a standalone national fire department. They say that the department would be led by a senior official and operate like other national security agencies such as the police and defense force. Speaking on the sidelines of a memorial for former Senate President J. Henry Bostwick, Cartwright doubling down on his comments while also lashing out at the government, claiming its spending priorities are out of touch.
The needs of the Fire Services Department is essential to providing security and safety for the Bahamian people. A government that has spent $220 million on consultants. You look at the debacle with the Burke deal, $1 million of taxpayers' money went out the window because the government was not diligent. You look at the $183 million unjustifiably spent on roadworks in Grand Bahama. So the Bahamian people, they look at these issues and they say to themselves, why is it that in 2025 there is only 3 fire trucks operational in New Providence and a total of 5 fire trucks throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas?
Well, meantime, the Free National Movement is paying tribute to former Senate President and prominent attorney J. Henry Bostwick during a memorial service at the party's headquarters this afternoon. Bostwick died on May 3rd at Doctors Hospital after a long illness. He was 86. At this afternoon's memorial, Bostwick was remembered as a key figure in Bahamian politics for at least half a century. Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram, who was Bostwick's junior in the Bahamas bar, described him as being brilliant.
His small stature, as was mine, never defined him. He was always immaculately dressed, poised, self-assured. He had a huge personality, an infectious laugh, always with a story, always smiling. He was resourceful and happy to share relevant, helpful advice and guidance.
All right, well, we've still got lots more news to share with you tonight, but first, meteorologist Greg Thompson joins us for your first look at temperatures. Greg.
Hey, Megan, and happy evening, everybody. Humid outside. We didn't get any rainfall today, but some of the northern islands did get some. You'll see that in our satellite picture, but we are still mostly cloudy on the outside. 80 degrees is our current temperature. East-southeast winds at 17 miles per hour. Your feels like temperature is at 82. Satellite radar composite, the setup right now, we have a lot of moisture, all associated with a frontal boundary and an upper level low and surface low spinning just across the southeastern United States. That's dragging that front across our area and that moisture. Showers and thunderstorms occurring mainly across the Grand Bahama as well as the Bimini and the Abacos, but we are not out of the woods. We are still going to see more showers and thunderstorms develop tonight through tomorrow, and this is likely to take us into Wednesday, so some much needed rainfall expected during that time frame. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still coming.
Still to come on our news, a number of organizations coming together to answer the call of men in business. We'll tell you all about the timely grant opportunity awarded to the 13 recipients. Plus, our Greg Thompson steps back in the Weather Center with a look at your extended forecast. The details right after this break.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Royalty graces the next episode of the Charlie Bahama Show with Lady E.
I'm so happy to be here with you. This is you're one of my heroes. You're one of the people who I always watch on TV. I still remember the theme music from Electric Air. So, you know, just being
all my money. You got all my money. All my money. I love her already. Catch the next episode of The Charlie Bahama Show this Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
Welcome to Journey TV.
I'm glad the Wally boys have split, because you know what? There ain't being any more competition.
The words on the Spelling Bee Show in the lot.
Phosphorescent. Hey, it's The Charlie Bahama Show. Welcome, I'm your boy, Charlie Bahama.
New season of grooving is here.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center, SBDC, in collaboration with Toastmasters International and Carnival Corporation, recently hosted a Men in Business cohort at the Pelican Bay Hotel on Grand Bahama. Launched in September 2024, the initiative was a direct response to calls from the Family Islands for renewed support for male entrepreneurs. Since then, the program has been making its way across the archipelago, ensuring that its impact is felt nationwide. Executive Director of the SBDC, Samantha Roll, says some 13 recipients from various islands were awarded grant funding totaling $114,000. These grants support both startups and existing businesses.
We collaborated with Carnival Corporation, who provided some of the grant funding in the tune of $90,000, specifically for Family Island entrepreneurs and small businesses. We also had a partner in terms of the Toastmasters Club 1600, who chaired and led within the mentorship component of the program.
Roderick Colbrook, who is the past president of Toastmasters Club 1600, expressed his enthusiasm about the partnership, while lifestyle manager at Celebration Key, Van Roll Jr., shared the significance of their collaboration with the SBDC.
The role that we have played in 1600 was to be, like, let's say, advisors to many other people. We're advisors and consultants helping the Men in Business program. We wanted to be there to help, inspire, and also show them how they can be successful. And we think we've been doing a good job with that, because it took so much, not just so much effort, but to actually guide them along the path.
The good news is that we have the opportunity as a company to really commit and invest on a lot of community opportunities here. I think that myself, as well as my colleague Philcher Grant, we're leading the forefront on making sure that Carnival is, committing to what we say. We say that we're invested in Grand Bahama and the community, and I think opportunities like this really highlight that fact.
Coming up in sports, Bahamian star for Georgia Southern at the Sun Belt Conference Champs, a pivotal Game 4 in Warriors Timberwolves, and we prepare for the 2027 FIBA World Cup qualification draw. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. Internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real with each milestone.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. NCAA Outdoor Conference Championships are underway, and a pair of Bahamians delivered record-setting performances in the Sun Belt. Divine Parker and Shatalia Dorset helped to rewrite the Eagles' record books at the Sun Belt Championships in Harrisonburg, Virginia. In her first conference championship in 2 years, Parker took first place in the 200 meters and claimed the conference title in a new personal best, 23.07 seconds. Dorset also reached a medal podium in the race and finished third in another new personal best, 23.24 seconds. In the 100, Parker finished fourth, personal best time of 11.33 seconds, while Dorset was seventh in 11.41 seconds. The duo teamed up to help the Eagles power to a record-setting performance in the 4x1. Their time of 43.73 seconds was a new Sun Belt, meet record, and program record, which was set at the Penn Relays just a few weeks ago. Dorset opened the race on the first leg and handed it off to Parker on the backstretch. They also returned to run the 4x4. This time, Parker was third and Dorset anchored a 7th place finish for the Eagles in 3 minutes 44.20 seconds. Georgia Southern finished fourth at the meet, their highest finish since they joined the conference in 2014. Team Bahamas will soon begin its path in the qualification process for the 2027 FIBA World Cup. Of course, Los Angeles 2028 is in sight, but before the senior men's national team reaches that milestone, first comes the road to Qatar. The FIBA World Cup 2027 qualifiers draw will take place in Doha on May 13th in preparation for the first ever World Cup to be held in the Middle East and North Africa region. The Bahamas hopes to be one of 32 teams in Qatar to pursue the Naismith Trophy. The first step in the process, figuring out your opponents for the qualifiers. From November 2025 to March 2027, there will be 6 dedicated windows featuring over 400 games across the globe as 80 teams battle to earn their spot in Qatar. Here in the Americas region, 16 teams will play across 6 windows and 7 get to advance to the World Cup. Those teams are then placed into 8 pots based on several factors, geography, and their FIBA World Rankings. The 8 teams from North and Central America will be in 4 pots, as will the 8 teams from South America. The Bahamas is in pot 5 and will be placed in either Group A or B. There will be 4 groups of 4 teams playing home and away series, and the top 3 teams from each group get to advance to the second round. The top 3 teams in each group, along with the best 4th place team, will advance to the World Cup. Buddy Hield and the Golden State Warriors face a pivotal game 4 tonight, and if they are to even the series, Hield knows the only true way to replace 2-time MVP Stephen Curry is by committee.
Nobody will cover Steph Curry. What he does, there's no pressure. If you coming in thinking that you gotta like full his role, you're crazy because he does so much with his team. You know, trust me, everybody would like to do it, but like he's touched by an angel. You know, he's touched by God. You know, he's blessed.
Curry suffered a hamstring strain in Game 1, but Hield stepped up to lead the Warriors to the win. Since then, the T-Wolves have won back-to-back games, and Curry's timetable set to return is no earlier than Game 6. Hield scored 14 points and made 4 threes in a 102-97 loss in Game 3. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Okay, John's not here, so I can't get his Game 4 prediction, but I think he's nervous. Warriors in 6. Never mind, he's not nervous. Back to the studio.
On the other side of this break, Greg is back in the Weather Center with a complete look at temperatures across the country. Stick with us.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
MT Corporation is on the move. Day by day, panel by panel, our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, MT redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayan solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.
This is our news. Welcome back. Unsettled weather pattern across the area, courtesy of a lot of moisture that's coming out of the southwest Caribbean. Also, a frontal boundary attached to a low pressure system across the southeast United States. Slowly progressing towards the east. That's going to keep us with some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Some of those showers will be heavy, locally heavy, thunderstorms strong to severe times. So we're asking you to continue to monitor the progress of the system. But we will continue to see one more day and maybe even a little bit of Wednesday as the system pushes towards the south and east. Future forecasts will be showing that pretty nicely. The moisture still across South Florida and the Northwest Bahamas, waning as we lose the sunlight for today, but we are expecting once again another round, and those showers will continue to be mostly across the Northwest Bahamas, but once again by Wednesday we expect most of the showers to be pushing into the central and southeastern islands. Boating forecast, Northwest and Central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Your winds will be out of the southeast to south at 15 to 20 knots, falling to 15 knots tomorrow. Caution flag in place, rip current risk will be elevated. Sea is 3 to 5 feet, high tide is at 8:45 tonight, the low tide takes place at 3:14 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, this is how things are shaping up down there. Slightly stronger winds, east-southeast 15 to 20 knots. Seas running 4 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. We will keep showers in the forecast Tuesday, some residual showers hanging out on Wednesday, but temperatures will start to be approaching that upper 80s to near the 90-degree mark, so we're looking for some summer-like temperatures. So at the end of the week, we're asking you to continue to exercise caution, prepare yourself for the outdoors, as we are going to be slightly warm. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this